A Jewish mother is with her daughters at a store and starts screaming, "I need a doctor! I need a doctor!" And this young Jewish man walks over and he says, "I'm a doctor, how can I help?" She says, "Doctor, do I have a daughter for you?"
A Jewish mother is attending the inauguration of her son as the first ever Jewish president of the United States.
And while he's speaking, she says to the man next to her, "You see that man up there who's speaking?
His sister is a doctor."
Why do these all start with a Jewish mother?
And now we go to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where a woman is pushing a baby carriage.
With her two young sons, a passerby walks by and says,
"Those are lovely children. How old are they?"
and the mom says, "Well, the doctor is 3 and the lawyer is 2.
Long before there were Jewish doctor jokes, there were Jewish doctors. For thousands of years, Jews have been at the forefront of medicine as neurologists, cardiologists, ophthalmologists, hematologists, immunologists, and every other ologist you can imagine. And along the way, achieving countless medical breakthroughs that have saved tens of millions of lives. Which raises the question of why. Why have Jews played such a prominent role in medicine and made such monumental contributions to humankind? Well, it's quite a story. The unique legacy of Jews in medicine has its roots in the Jewish faith itself.
Jewish interest in medicine has a religious motivation, with the preserving of life and health as a religious commandment. Christians believe that the disease comes from God, and God is going to heal it. So they were very passive. However, the Jews were very active, and medicine was always very important in Jewish society.
There are 613 commandments in Judaism. 213 of them are of a sort of medical nature. There's a concept of pikuach nefesh in Hebrew, which means that the saving of a life is paramount.
Yet religion is not the only catalyst behind this outsized role in medicine.
In most of Western Europe, Jews were restricted in the acceptable occupations. They could deal in old clothes and rags. They could lend money at interest. They could practice medicine.
And as a result, by the year 1500, nearly half of the doctors in Europe were Jewish. And because doctors possess a unique and essential set of skills, physicians have always been valuable to those in power.
Even in countries where the Jews were expelled, the king says, "Go fetch me a Jewish physician."
In Italy, at least 10 popes had Jewish doctors. In Egypt, Maimonides, the leading Jewish philosopher and scholar of the Middle Ages, served as a personal physician to the Sultan Saladin. Other world figures with Jewish doctors included Suleiman the Magnificent of the Ottoman Empire, Elizabeth I of England, Louis XIV of France, Catherine the Great of Russia, and even notorious anti-Semites like Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain. In the modern era, more and more Jews joined the medical profession, and our representation in medicine became far greater than our percentage of the world population.
By the 1930s, about 50% of the doctors in Berlin were Jewish, 60% in Vienna, 63% in Budapest, 66% in Warsaw, 70% in Lviv, 74% in Vilna, and a staggering 83% of the doctors in Poland's second biggest city, Lodz, were Jewish.
To date, an incredible 26% of Nobel Prizes in physiology or medicine have been awarded to Jews, even though Jews make up just 0.2% of the world's population.
Jews have been at the forefront of all sorts of innovations in various specialties. It's something that the Jews themselves should be very, very proud of.
Jewish scientists invented the fiber optic endoscope, pioneered critical improvements to the pacemaker and defibrillator, cracked the human genetic code, helped discover the structure of DNA, and developed the process that allows for safe blood transfusions.
Poliomyelitis can finally be completely wiped out.
Jewish innovators have cured polio, invented chemotherapy, and developed treatments for patients with AIDS.
Each human life has the same value as any other.
Jews invented medicines for multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease. Jews discovered the pharmaceutical uses of penicillin and created vaccines for cholera and hepatitis. Without Jews, the world might not have the pill camera, the Heimlich maneuver, cataract surgery, and artificial heart valves, and the world's first 3D printed heart made with actual human cells. Jews have made significant contributions to public health too, establishing some of the first major nursing organizations in the Russian Empire, in the United States, in the Middle East, and pioneering systems we now take for granted, like safe chlorinated drinking water. Jews have also had an outsized impact on mental health. Sigmund Freud, Alfred Adler, Erik Erikson, Viktor Frankl, and Abraham Maslow, all Jewish. As the classic joke goes, every Jew is either in therapy, has just finished therapy, is about to enter therapy, or is a therapist.
Nothing's changed. It's years later. I had a shrink then, I have a shrink now. I'm 6 shrinks later.
Jokes aside, medicine is a serious business, and anti-Semitism has prevented countless Jewish doctors and scientists from getting the education they desired and the recognition they deserved. But they persisted, inventing medicines, building hospitals, and establishing medical NGOs to help those in need, even in regions with no Jewish populations.
An improvement in the lives of people all over the world is just undeniable. It's extremely important, and it's one of the highlights, I think, of Jewish civilization and Jewish culture.
In France, Jewish doctor and politician Bernard Kouchner, whose grandparents perished in the Holocaust, established Doctors Without Borders, one of the world's best-known NGOs.
We don't care about permission. If there is a medical need, okay, we go.
And almost 30 years ago, Israeli surgeon Amram Cohen launched Save a Child's Heart, which provides cardiac health care and heart surgeries to children in more than 60 countries. The Jewish leaders of today are following in the footsteps of the giants who came before, healing the world even in places that have historically been hostile to Jews. During the Syrian civil war, Israeli hospitals treated thousands of Syrian refugees. And in March 2022, Israel was the first country to set up a hospital in Ukraine. And over the past 2 years, Jewish doctors and scientists have helped lead the way out of the COVID pandemic, the world's worst public health crisis in a century. American Jewish researcher Drew Weissman led the team that discovered an mRNA platform, which enabled the creation of COVID-fighting mRNA vaccines. As chairman and CEO of Pfizer, 2022 Genesis Prize laureate Albert Bourla led the team that delivered the world's first safe and effective COVID vaccine. Pfizer's chief scientific officer is also Jewish, as are the chief medical officers at Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Russia's Gamaleya Institute. In one of the last scenes of the film Schindler's List, directed by Genesis Prize laureate Steven Spielberg, Jewish workers give Oskar Schindler a gold ring engraved with the quotation from the Talmud,
It says, whoever saves one life saves the world entire.
"Whoever saves one life saves the world entire." This basic principle of Judaism is a powerful reflection of a Jewish commitment to saving and preserving life that dates back thousands of years. One that not only is our guiding light still today, but our North Star for tomorrow. Jews in medicine, an extraordinary history, a legacy of healing and hope.